Where were we? We had just talked to the old man in the boathouse, who presumably is going to be the attorney, or not the attorney, the witness for tomorrow's case. Which is a thing, I suppose. Not a good thing, that's for sure. But it is a thing. So we can probably bounce back and go. Nothing new here. New here? Oh. Oh my god, could I just get the fuck out of this place? Hey, it worked. Looks like Edgeworth isn't questioning. Let's come back later. Guess so. Police Department, Criminal Affairs. Hey pal, long time no see. You don't look so happy. What's wrong this time? Actually, we wanted to ask you something. Yeah? You know the boat rental shop down at Gourd Lake? Oh, yeah. The old man who runs it is appearing as a witness in court tomorrow, right? Huh? How do you... that was supposed to be top secret. Do you know who that old man is, detective? Actually, I don't. He's a bit of an odd bird. I haven't been able to get a straight answer out of him. Hey, Retro, welcome to the stream. How you doing tonight, buddy? Thank you for the host. I decided first that he wasn't persuasive enough to stand and testify as a witness. That's why we called Ms. Lotta Hart yesterday. As for who he is, we've absolutely no idea. Sounds suspicious. That's unfortunate. No, you made it here just in time. We just got to Gumshoe. And I haven't done anything prior to that. I'm currently dealing with the fact that for one, we did a lot of Gumshoe yesterday and my tongue is a little swollen from doing it. And I still haven't fully gotten Maya's voice back, so it's a little in and out. Detective Gumshoe, please help us. Huh? We need to know about the DL6 incident. That was when Edgeworth's father died. I can't help but think that it has something to do with this current case. To tell the truth, I don't know much about DL6 either. Mr. Edgeworth forbade us from reading the file. So, I'm afraid I can't show them to you either, pal. What? However, if you can convince me somehow that the DL6 incident is related to this case, well, I guess I'd consider opening the file up. What's that, the parrot? The old man at the boat rental shop's parrot. The parrot knew about that incident. That incident? DL6. What? Polly, have we forgotten something? Ah! Don't forget DL6! Ah! Huh? I'm pretty sure that old man must have taught her that word. Yeah, but how would that old man know about the DL6 incident? Wait, what if? What if that old man was connected to DL6?
Nick, you think he might be?
I get you. Sounds like you need information on the DL6 incident. Through there is the station's records room. I'll give you special permission to go in and find what you need.
Alright, way to go, Detective Gumshoe. Okay, Nick, to the records room.
I guess it's time we faced Edgeworth's past. Without him, because he's currently locked in jail. To the records room.
Wow! It's amazingly dusty. 10 years of files and 10 years...
Oh, 10 years of files and 10 years of dust, I guess.
Let's find the DL6 stuff quick.
15 years ago, both me and Edgeworth were 9 years old. We were almost through with 4th grade when he suddenly transferred. Because of DL6.
Nick, I found where the file is.
Oh, thanks.
Just let me know what you want to know about the DL6 incident. I'll go get the right file.
Well, first I have to get a handle on the main facts, like a summary.
Right. Summary, found it. Here you go.
December 28th, 2001.
That's exactly 15 years ago from the day after tomorrow.
So in 2 days, the case is closed. The incident took place in the elevator of the district courthouse.
What? Is this the same district courthouse where we're holding the trial now?
Looks like it. There was a large earthquake at 2 p.m. on that day. Part of the court building collapsed and all the lights went out. You haven't missed much. We're just looking into the DL6 incident. So we're learning what happened with Edgeworth's past, how his father was killed, what happened to Maya's mother after the fact, all that jazz.
Well, that was some earthquake.
Welcome, by the way, Rogue. At the time, 3 people were trapped in the elevator. It took 5 hours for them to be rescued. 5 hours? Oof.
That would be scary like that in the dark.
There was a lack of oxygen in the elevator and the survivors were unconscious.
The survivors?
One of the 3 in the elevator had been shot in the heart.
That was Mr. Edgeworth's father, wasn't it?
He said that his father was shot before his very eyes, so Miles Edgeworth was one of the other passengers in that elevator. Okay. Do you have data on the victim, Edgeworth's father?
Yeah, hold on. Victim. Here, found it.
Gregory Edgeworth, 35, defense attorney. If he were still alive today, he'd be 50. He had lost that day's case in court and got in the elevator with his son, Miles.
Miles?
Miles Edgeworth, of course.
So he was in the elevator with his father.
From the angle of the bullet and other evidence, it could not have been the suicide. The murder weapon, a pistol, was found in the elevator. The pistol had been fired 2 times. Where have I heard that before? Huh, it sounds just like this current case. What's going on here? Got any data on the suspect in there?
That would be the guy that my mom got arrested. Hold on, this is it.
The man arrested as a suspect in DL6 was Yanni Yogi? He was a clerk in the court, apparently. So he must have been the third person in the elevator.
Well, then he had to have done it.
But he was found innocent thanks to his defense lawyer, Robert Hammond.
Hammond, the victim in our case.
Right. The suspect, Mr. Yogi, was oxygen deprived so much so he had brain damage. He lost all memory of being in the elevator. After he was declared innocent, he disappeared.
Where could Yogi have gone to, I wonder?
He may be closer than we think. I guess I know generally what happened in the DL6 now. Somebody who isn't named Yogi, Yanni Yogi anymore, therefore has a Russian accent and has brain damage. You guys think it might be Detective Gumshoe? I mean, let's see. He's Russian. He's dumb like he has brain damage. He's old enough that he could be. Like, he could be, let's see, 15 years. Let's say he was 20 when the incident happened. That would put him at 35. Gumshoe could be 35. I could see that. The old man seems pretty brain damaged. That's a fair point, too. The old man with Polly, yeah. That's a good point, too. I still don't know what sort of impact the whole thing had on Edgeworth. I mean, he's afraid of earthquakes now.
Nick, are we going to take the whole file? There's too much. We'll never get it out.
You're right. How about we just take what we think we'll need? Right, that's probably all we'll be able to find here. Now all that's left is the trial tomorrow. I wonder how Dad will do testifying in court. To be continued. Well, that's it, boys. No, I'm just... I saved, right? I did now. December 27th, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 3. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Miles Edgeworth. At least he got shot in the heart. It would have been a lot worse if he had slowly bled to death in the oxygen-scarce elevator. A lot more suffering that way. Right? Although he was unconscious. So I guess it wouldn't have really mattered. Because the elevator was so oxygen scarce, everyone was unconscious for the vast majority of it. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well, apparently the prosecution is also ready. Who is the judge here, anyway? Mr. Von Karma, your opening statement. Very well, no opening statements, so... Not so fast, Judge. I was taking a meaningful pause before speaking. Right, of course. A prediction. Today's trial will end 3 minutes from now. Order, order! Mr. Von Karma, what is the meaning of your statement just now? Pah. Must you question everything? It'll be over in 3 minutes. We have no time to waste. I'll call my witness now. Right! I call my witness, my decisive witness, to the stand. It's that mysterious boat shop owner. Witness, state your profession. No?
And the proprietor of the restaurant, the Wet Noodle at Gold Lake.
And I also rent boats. The night of the incident, you were in the boat rental shop, correct? Yeah, I was. Please testify. Wait a second. We still haven't heard who this old guy is yet. Wait a minute. The witness hasn't stated his name yet. Because I did not ask him, Mr. Wright. I have predicted this trial will end in 3 minutes. Stop asking trivial questions and cooperate. Yeah, right. Jerk. The witness will state his name. Well, I'm not really sure yet. What do you mean? My, memory. Your Honor. The witness does not remember anything beyond the last several years. Ergo, he cannot recall his own name. He can't recall, you say? Yes, but the incident in question took place 3 days ago. He can testify. Very well. Let's hear his testimony then, shall we, witness? That was poorly read. Oh my god, I'm bad. So, how do we not just tear this dude apart on the stand? Like, it was the night of the 24th, just after midnight, yeah. I was in the restaurant where I rent boats as usual. Then I heard a bang. Yeah. When I looked out the window, I saw a boat just floating on the lake. And I heard another bang. Just about that, and the boat comes back to shore and a man walks by my window. Very well. I'd like to begin the cross-examination. There is nothing to question in my witness's testimony. Ergo, no need for cross-examination. Besides, there are only 10 seconds left before our 3 minutes are up. Judge, your verdict now. Yes, Mr. Wright. What happens if I don't cross-examine here? Like, so he has zero evidence. What are you saying? Of course I'll cross-examine the witness. Very well, you may begin. Excuse me, Mr. Von Karma. 3 minutes just passed. I see. Well then, let's just take our time. You may cross-examine the witness. Karma's a little bit of a noob. Question. Just after midnight, you say? Yeah, just around then. Are you sure? Pretty sure, yeah. When I talked to you yesterday, you were rather vague about the time. I'm surprised you seem so sure about it today. Okay, Rogue, hope to see you back soon. Gonna go somewhere, presumably. I asked him, and he remembered. Isn't that right? Don't glare at me like that. I remembered it clearly, I did, yeah. You see, continue. Is there anyone who can verify that? Well, I guess Polly could. That's not good enough for a court of law. Mr. Wright, exactly what's not good enough? Your Honor, this Polly is a parrot. A parrot?
Don't be so hard on the girl, Keithy boy.
Keith? The prosecution concedes that we cannot prove the witness was in the shop. Witness, please continue. Then I heard a bang. Yeah. And where did the bang seem to come from? From the lake, I figure. Are you certain? Hey up. Good. Continue. When I looked out the window, I saw a boat just afloat on the lake. Was there someone in the boat? It was pretty far out there. I couldn't see clearly. But I figured there was 2 men out there, yeah. But you couldn't see them clearly. Yeah, at the time, that is. At the time. Then I heard another bang. So you heard 2 gunshots total. Yeah. That's what Lotta said in her testimony yesterday. Just about then, the boat comes back to shore and a man walks by my window. If I know Von Karma, he spent time with... Oh, shit. That was the last one I needed to actually hit. By your window? Yeah, by my window, right outside the window of my little shack. And could you see the man's face? Well, the fog was pretty darn thick, but he was right there in front of me. I saw him. This is a rather important detail. Please add it to your testimony. I have a bad feeling about this. That man was the defendant. He was saying, I can't believe he's dead. Are you sure? Uh-oh. Dad. Dead certain, Keith. He said, I can't believe he's dead as he was walking by, too. Witness, are you sure that the person you saw was Miles Edgeworth? It was him, that Edgeworth boy. This sounds like decisive evidence indeed. I see no room for doubt. On Karma, he lured me into cross-examining so he could set me up for a fall.
Nick! I don't like the way things are going here. Everyone in the courtroom is glaring at us.
I'd better act quicker. This trial is going to be over. We probably should raise an objection. Your Honor, we proved in yesterday's trial that it could not have been Edgeworth who fired that gun. Mr. Wright, are you referring to the fingerprints from Edgeworth's right hand found on the gun? And the photograph showing a man firing with his left hand? Exactly. That is easily explainable. He could have wiped his prints after he fired. You are ignoring the truth of the matter here. Everything in this witness's testimony is true. The judge is lost in thought. What should I do? Raise another objection. Let's be annoying. Your Honor, this witness claims that Edgeworth said, I can't believe he's dead, but his word is all we have. If he were telling a lie... Mr. Wright, in a court of law, the evidence tells all. Apparently, you have yet to realize even this basic fact. If you say his testimony is a lie, show us proof. Ugh.
Nick, do we have evidence?
It's no good. There's nothing I can do.
Are you sure?
To be honest, I don't know what to do anymore.
Please. Can you hear me, sis? Please. We need your help. Nick needs you.
3 minutes was perhaps too high an expectation. However, 15 minutes isn't bad. This must be a new record. Enough! The witness may leave the stand. This court sees no reason to further prolong the trial, nor is there any need for more time to decide the case against the defendant. This case is extremely clear. I see no room for misinterpretation of the facts. That's because you're a moron. What? No. This court finds the defendant Mr. Miles Edgeworth. Oof. Did we just lose a trial? The accused will surrender to the court immediately, to be held pending trial at a higher court within a month from today's date. That is all. This court is adjourned.
Wait.
Who was that just now?
Me.
Huh? What? Oh god, it's Larry. What are you doing here?
Listen, you gotta listen to me. I was there in the park the night of the murder. I wasn't sure about it until just yesterday. But today I remembered it.
Remembered what?
The gunshot. I heard it too.
Order!
What is the meaning of this?
Right? Larry to the rescue.
The verdict has been decided. I call for adjournment.
One moment, Mr. Von Karma. So you say you heard a gunshot?
Yeah, I did. A gunshot that night. I was sitting here in the audience listening to the testimony. Then I realized something he said was different from what I remember. Anyhow, I can't just sit here and let you call Edgy a murderer. It's just not right. I'll testify. Let me testify.
Order! Order! Well, this is the first time something has happened like this in my court. I'm not quite sure how to proceed. Judge, you've already given your decision. Trial is over.
Nick, this is it. Larry's given us one final chance at this.
She's right. If only it wasn't Larry. He could make things even worse.
Mr. Edgeworth was just declared guilty, Nick. It doesn't get any worse.
You're right. Okay.
Okay, so I finally figured out what the hell is going on here and why these trials are so awkward and so poorly done. These trials are grand jury trials. That's what they are. They're not actual sentencing trials. Like, even though they're using guilty verdicts, it actually makes a lot more sense because there's a much lower allowance for bullshit, for lack of a better term, in a grand jury trial, because all it really is doing here is whether or not the dude is like going to be allowed to be tried in a real trial where they actually have rules they have to follow. Yeah.
If there's another witness, it is our duty to hear him speak.
Yeah, it's like a pre-trial, basically. Generally, grand jury trials are quick and they're judge only. It's very rare that a defendant requests a grand jury trial actually have a jury, which is interesting because it's literally in the name. Which also explains why it's just the judge doing everything. It basically functions as a pre-trial, which allows them to determine some basic facts as to whether it's even possible that the person did it. It would also allow for situations which I have a feeling are about to come up as to who murdered Edgeworth's dad.